Hello, everyone. So let's wait for a minute, then we will continue the webinar. I hope you can see my screen, and let me share my screen also. Before the start of the webinar, we will wait for 1 minute or 2 minutes, then we'll continue. Let others join. In the meantime, let me share my screen. In case you want to ask any question, you can ask in the chat option. And when I will be free, I will come to that chat section and reply you with the answer. And if you have any question, also raise your hand. I will come to the section to reply you. Okay. So let me share my screen so that we can start it. Okay, guys. So without wasting time, let's start the webinar. So this webinar has been, planned since very long time, but I was not free, so I delayed this. So today I planned it, and I'm very happy that many people joined this webinar. And it's approximately 200 members are joined, candidates joined in this training, registered at least. How many joined, I don't know. I will check that later on, but it's a very important stop to discuss in these days because of the AI introduction and AI integration in Power Platform ecosystem. Now, this is very important to understand how Copilot knowledge or how Copilot feature can be leveraged in our Power Platform ecosystem, and how we can use the capability and the features to make our development more productive. It's not that if you are still working on different types of components, start from scratch, then it's taking time, right? So Copilot introduced to boost the productivity, work and productivity, so that you will work less time on the topics that you are interested in, right? Let's say you are developing a Canvas app and you are adding screens and adding components manually, right? As we do since the beginning of the application development. That is the way we have followed before. But right now, because of Copilot introduction, it becomes so much easy that we ask our natural query language to the Copilot, and the Copilot will help us to do the job, right? So it's actually delegating our job to Copilot so that it will do our work immediately without, without wasting much time. It will do that. So what we'll cover in this session in 1 hour, I may not cover everything, but I'll try to touch base those parts which will give you a kickstart in your development activities. The first one is called as Copilot in building Power Apps Canvas app. I'll tell you how we can leverage Copilot in Canvas app, Power Apps, and also I will discuss about Copilot using in model-driven apps. Okay. The Copilot is already integrated since a long time, but people are very less using. And I'm happy that people are joining this session to learn how to leverage or use the Copilot feature for their day-to-day productivity, and do their job easily instead of banging head for a complex things to do in development activities. Next, we will also see how Copilot can help us building Power Pages. Power Pages is very, very important, right, in these days, because Power Pages gives us a website development platform by which we can integrate so many web trends or website development trends or technologies to publish our website, which is customer facing or public facing, right? But how Copilot can be leveraged to speed up our work while building Power Pages? Whether you can add forms, can you define, or can you ask Copilot to do some fields mandatory like that, right? Next, we will also see Copilot in building Power Automate. Power Automate is also very, very important in Power Platform ecosystem, because using Power Automate uh, you can build automations using less code, no code, right? Now, Copilot actually helps us to remove low code to no code. Okay, our concept is like less code and no code, right? But Copilot is helping us moving from less code to no code. Okay, that is the need of Copilot. That is why it is introduced and integrated in our Power Platform ecosystem. Most of the times when you write code, less code at least, when you write Power Effects, it is less code, right? Now, instead of writing that much less code, ask ChatGPT with your natural query language, and ChatGPT will help you to write your code. That is what the intention about the Copilot integration with our Power Platform ecosystem. Okay. And we'll also see Copilot integration with Power Virtual Agent, how to build Copilot Studio chatbots, and take help from Copilot to design our topics and design phrases and so many things, right? So we'll discuss. Let's start one by one. We'll first start with Canvas app. Okay. So let me directly navigate to the environment to start with. Okay. This is my make.powerapps.com. And here I have selected one environment where the ChatGPT is enabled for. Most of the time, ChatGPT is enabled for all environments in these days. So it is globally available. So I have an environment here, Copilot test. That environment I will use for now to give a demo on these different topics, right? Now, when you open make.powerapps.com, you'll find there is a section called as Let's Build an App. Now, this is the first integration of Copilot with your Power Apps. Okay, you can type something here using your natural query language, and Copilot will help you to build the respective tables and respective screens for you. Okay, you can see the suggestions, right? Collect RSVP, track sales lead. So many things are there, right? Manage inspections. Now, let's say I want to collect some information about collect party attendance, right? Let's say I want to manage or I want to organize an event or a party, and I want to collect some information about that who are going to attend the party, right? And I want to build a Canvas app so that I can easily add attendance for our friends, right? So let's say I want to collect the event, or I can say event, it is better. So in these days, guys, remember giving proper prompt is also very necessary. That's why in these days, prompt engineers are in demand. Okay. So although ChatGPT is very powerful, but give the correct prompt so that ChatGPT can understand and do the necessary job correctly, right? So you can explain here also. Instead of collect event attendance, you can write down, please create an app to record attendees for my event, right? Now, if you put this natural query language, what it is telling, you can see here. Click on the send button. If you click on the send, it will try to organize your natural query language and display a recommended table with different columns that will hold some values for you. You see, attendee ID, attendee name, email, phone number, registration date, right? So mostly I was expecting I should have a table which will hold all these informations, and it is done for me. If I would have created, what I would have done, I would have done a solution. I would have created a new table, manually add all these columns. How much time it takes, right? But using ChatGPT, it will just take a couple of seconds. You can also change the data model here. Let's say I want to change the name to define in a two column. I don't want to store name. I want to split it by first name, last name. So I will ask here, please split name to first name and last name. Okay. And hit send. Do not click create app. If you click on create app, it will take this data model as final data model. So at this stage, you are having a opportunity to change this data model depending on your need. You can change the column types. You can add different types of new columns also here. Let me first use a command or prompt called as please split name column to first name and last name and hit send. See what happens. I'm expecting the ChatGPT will help me creating two columns here instead of only one column. You see guys, first name and last name. Okay. I want to add a new column. So I can type here, add a new column to store gender. Send it. Now keep prompting to your co-pilot to do your job immediately. Now if you scroll down, you'll see the gender will be added, you see, and it is a choice item. Okay. Now I want to add another column. So you can keep adding different types of prompts so that the Copilot will help you. In data modeling phase, you are in data modeling phase, isn't it? Before create app, whatever script or whatever prompt you will give to the Copilot, it will just change your data model. Now click on create app. Now when you click on create app, it will automatically, the ChatGPT will automatically create your table in your Dataverse environment and also create a Canvas app with minimum pages with respective containers or components on your Canvas app with galleries and forms so that you can perform CRUD operation. Now, if I would not have used Copilot for this, whatever I have done till now, it would take at least 10 or 20 minutes. But I just took 5 minutes at least or 4 minutes and given my prompts and the work is done. You see guys, so the Copilot is helping me or helping us side by side in our development activities, starting from the data model to the publish process. Now I am on the page here, right? So this is the page that has been created. If I'll play it, I can see how it is working. So these are the sample data. I can delete it. Okay, these are all ready-made app. Okay, now when I click on delete, it is showing that are you sure you want to delete this record? Okay, now I want to change this. Are you sure you want to delete this attendee? Now what I can do then, I can go here and select this. This is the label, right? This is the label. So I can ask ChatGPT. ChatGPT is here, right? Sorry, not ChatGPT, Copilot. Sorry, guys. So the Copilot, when I open this Copilot, I can ask here, please rephrase the sentence to use candidates or attendees. Attendee instead of want to delete instead of record. Now let us prompt it and see what happens. I'm expecting this text should be updated. Is it updating or not? It is telling that I was not able to find an answer for this. Looks like the Copilot didn't understand my prompt. That's why it is very important to define proper prompt. So what I can do, I can write down again. I'm rephrasing my prompt. Change the text of the label to use attendee instead of the word record. Let us see if it is doing my work or not. So giving correct prompt is very necessary. I could have directly gone here and I go here and change this. I just want to show you this, that how it is working. Otherwise, changing a word inside a string, it is not, ChatGPT is, Copilot is not that much helpful, right? You see, it is just changed it. So you are just commanding or prompting and Copilot is doing your work, right? And what else you can do? Let's say I want to ask, create a screen, create a new screen. Now, when you ask create a new screen, it will create a new screen here in your app. Already there is a screen event attendees, but now it added another screen. I want to add another prompt to the Copilot. Please add a gallery to display event attendees and keep your table inside quote so that he can understand. Event attendees records. This is my natural query language. Now what it will do, it will just add a gallery here in the screen and bind the table called as event attendees that is just created. You see, I am just maximizing the window. It is bound, right? You can change the layout depending on your requirement, right? Let's say I want to add, please add a checkbox in each line, each row of this gallery. So I can add it here. Please add a checkbox with blank caption. With a checkbox in each row of the gallery. Now hit enter. I'm expecting a checkbox will be added in each row. Got it? You can place it here depending on your position. I want to mark this option or text as blank, so I can type here. Update text to empty. Update checkbox text empty. So learn prompting better to interact with ChatGPT. You see, it's telling that I'm not able to help you. That means your query or prompt is not identified, right? Let me refresh. Please update. But anyway, skip it. I can change it here. I can make it blank here. So do not use ChatGPT if you can do it immediately. Only use whenever there is a complexity. Now, I want to make more complex. Let's say I want to display another column here to display the status of the record. So I can add here. Please add a new column. Sorry, please add a new label in each row of the gallery to display status of the record. Now hit enter and see what happens. I'm expecting a new label will be added in each row and display its status. You see, it's showing status, but it is showing status as a static field, but I want to use the current record, so I can change it, right? So don't expect that the Copilot will help you. Copilot will do everything. It will just help you for your productivity, but you have to review and verify if it is correct or not. Okay. You can also add a button. Let's say I want to tell the Copilot, please add a button outside the gallery and on outside the gallery to update the gallery items or gallery rows where checkbox value is selected. So what I want to do, I want to take a button, and on clicking on that button, if some records are selected, and by clicking that button, all the rows that are selected status should be changed to inactive. So I can mark it here. Update the gallery rows or gallery item records, something where checkbox is value is selected. Update the, no, please rephrase it. Please add a button outside the gallery. Okay. On clicking of the button, all the gallery records where checkbox is selected, the status will be updated as inactive. I could have written a power effects for this, right? I could have added a button and written a power effects, but I'm telling Copilot to do this for me because I am not that much expert, maybe. Okay. So let me send it and see what happens if it is doing the job or not. I'm expecting the button will be added and the power effects will also be associated. You see, guys, the button is added here. Okay. I can move it here. Okay. The power effects is created, but with some error, right? I can update the display name, update the button text as change status. So I want to display the button instead of button, it should display change status. It is updated, right? But the power effects is created, but I need to review it, right? So it added for all, right? For all, it is filtering the gallery all items where checkbox value, I can give value equal to true. The first condition is done. It will, so it is running a for loop, right? Because more records are there in the gallery. Then it is patching. It is patching the uh, it is patching the record. You can type here. The ChatGPT didn't created the power effects completely. Okay, but there is an upcoming feature that when you type something here in natural query language, it will also create your formula for you. Okay, that is upcoming. So I can fix this, right? Filter all items where checkbox equal to true, so that it will get all the records which are selected. Then page. What I want to page? I want to page the entity. Which entity? The entity is event attendees. This is the entity. And which record I want to update? I want to update this record because the prompt was not sufficient. That's why it is not created correctly as I'm expecting. So page function takes 3 parameters, right? First is the entity that needs to be updated. Record, which record to be updated? This will be this record. And update status equal to not inactive. The status equal to status event attendees dot inactive, right? So you can rephrase because you should have knowledge. It's not that using Copilot will do everything. You should have knowledge to review the changes, right? So understand how Copilot can help you. You can do 3 things. You can ask creating new components. You can ask adding new screens, adding gallery, adding forms, right? Also, you can ask for change something. If you want to change some text label, if you want to change some color of a button, you can ask the Copilot. Instead of directly navigating to the property and changing, you can ask to Copilot. Next, what you can do, you can also ask questions, right? Let's say you don't know how to share your app to other users. So you just click on how do I share app and send it. Then it will give you the method how to share your Canvas app to other audience. So three things you can do. You can ask Copilot to create some components and ask Copilot to change any component and ask any question if you don't know something in context with the Canvas app, right? This is what all about in this session about Copilot using Copilot in Canvas apps. And next we will discuss about how we can leverage this Copilot in model-driven app, right? So let me open a model-driven app quickly so that we can check it. And also one more thing I skipped here. If sometimes you want to create some documentation for your app, you may want some explanation about your Power effects, right? So you can ask your Canvas app Copilot to explain some specific formula so that you can put in your comment or put in some documentation purpose, right? So you can use ask Copilot about analyzing a formula. Let me refresh it. Once I refresh, it will load again the Canvas app. Then I can use the Copilot again on the formula bar, right? I think it is not saved. Yeah, now it is loading here. So Copilot is enabled as a side panel, right? You can enable it on and hide it for your convenience. Now here you will see on the formula bar, the Copilot is integrated. Okay. If you click this, you will find there is an option called as explain the formula, right? Let's say you want to understand this code, then you can click this and click on explain this formula, right? Then it will give you the explanation. This expression sets the fill color of the event attendee screen color to white, right? So if you have written any complex power effects that you need explanation for, then you can ask this, right? So it will help you for documentation purposes. And there is another version, a new upcoming feature. You can write your code here by using double slash and write your query. Let's say submit form to database. If you type something, it will suggest some of the important or recommended power effects so that you can use it. But this is not enabled for me right now, but it is upcoming so that you can just write your natural query language using double slash and it will recommend the expected power effects that can be used. So let's navigate to the model driven app, see how we can leverage Copilot and what you can do with the Copilot in model driven app. Okay. Let me switch the environment for now because I have created a model driven app in another environment. Okay, so let's say this is the model driven app I have created. Let me run it. Okay. Now, when you run a model driven app, you will also find a Copilot icon on the top right corner, right? You see in the top right corner, the Copilot is here, and you can click this to open the Copilot panel. Here also in model driven app, you can ask Copilot any question if you have. You can also tell Copilot to do some action and you can also ask some questions. Okay. Let's say I want to ask some question like how many contacts are there in my app, how many contacts are there? So what it will do, it will calculate total number of contact records and it will show me a count, right? That you have this much contacts, 97 contacts, right? You can also check the prompt sample, what you can ask. If you click on analyze, you can ask all these questions. Get latest news for account. How many records are there in the table, right? What are the table name assigned to a person? If you want to identify which records are assigned to a specific person, you can ask what are the top 10 accounts, right? Let me ask another question. I have an entity called as appointment, doctor appointment. So I can ask the same thing, right? How many total doctor appointments are there? So how many total doctor appointment records are there? And let's see if it is helping me or not. You see, total one doctor appointment record available, right? Who is the doctor associated with appointment number APP1055. So I want to ask a question that who is the doctor assigned for this appointment? And let us see if it is giving me the answer or not. I know that I have only one appointment and he is the doctor, right? But I don't know. I don't know if I have millions of doctor appointment records. It is very difficult to identify a specific appointment number and who is the doctor, right? Let's say patient come to me and I want to identify who is the doctor immediately from my system. So I can ask ChatGPT or I can ask Copilot. Let's see if it is giving me or not. Maybe we have to refresh the prompt if not identified. You see, guys, it is giving me the answer as I expected. The doctor associated with the appointment number, this is Rajat Sharma, right? So immediately you can ask or analyze some information in your model-driven app using Copilot. Okay, you can ask any question also here, right? If you want to ask any question, you can ask here. Just a minute, guys. So here you can ask any question. If you want to ask, let's say you don't know how to deploy your model-driven app, and you can ask also question, any question related to any concept about your model-driven app, right? So take a tour on this view prompts, act, analyze, ask, and understand how you can leverage Copilot for your day-to-day productivity. Okay. So this is all about model-driven app using Copilots. It's not enabled for development activities, but for end users, it is used, and you can take a tour on this. Next, we will see how we can leverage the Copilot in Power Pages, right? In these days, we are doing so many Power Pages websites, isn't it? So let me go to the environment here, Copilot, and try to run through a website or Power Pages to understand how we can leverage the Copilot. So I can directly go to here, make.powerpages.com. When you navigate to the make.powerpages.com, you can also see here, there is a Copilot panel here. You can ask your natural query language, which will create a website for you. Let's say you want to create a website to collect information about recent customer care tickets. Then you can ask, right? This kind of prompts you can ask. Create a website to submit project proposal, build a site to track employees, right? Employee training. So you can keep refreshing to get some suggestions here how you can prompt it, right? If you prompt it, it will create a brand new uh, uh, Power Pages website for you. But I don't want to create a Power Pages website right now. I want to open an existing Power Pages website and try to take help of Copilot to understand how you can edit. So let me open this one. This is the Power Pages website I have created and click on edit. When you click on edit, it will open the Power Pages Studio so that you can customize this. Right? You can edit the site. And here also the Copilot is here, right? So Copilot is just like a partner with your development activities. Here also there are three informations you can ask. You can ask regarding your page design. In page design, you can ask to create a page, create section, colors, right? In data forms, you can also tell the ChatGPT to create a form, right? Let's say I want to create a page in my website. This is my website with all pages. I want to create a new page. I can click this new page and add new name and layout, but I don't want to do this manually. I want to ask Copilot to help me to do this. So let me ask, please create a new page to handle customer care service calls. Now, when I will hit enter this prompt, it will create a page for me in my in my Power Page so that I can edit it, right? Now it is working on it and it is generating the new page for me. You see, what is the name given? Customer care service calls. This is the new page that is created. If you're happy, you can just review this, how it looks like. Okay, you can preview this so that you can review this in the edit mode, how it looks like. And if you are happy, you can just click on keep it. If you keep it, then the changes will be reflected. You can preview it to see how the new page that is created by your Copilot with sample content looks like, how when it will be rendered. Now this is the page that will be rendered for me. Now let us see how the UI is created. I can change anything in the UI that is created by default by the Copilot. It's not that Copilot created something and I cannot edit. I always can edit and review the changes. So creating page was easy, right? In manual process, but defining all this sample content was not easy, right? It created some image, created some content, right? Some sample content, some sections, right? It took time. It took time if you create it manually. Let me ask another question here. Please add a form to raise an incident. Now click on send. Now what it will do, it will try to add a form inside this current page with some predefined fields that are very necessary for incident recording and ask for your review so that you can keep it. How to add a form manually? You can just add manually from your component, right? Using this add option, you can add it manually, but you can tell the same thing to the Copilot to do this. Ultimately, Copilot helps us to do certain job to save our time, right? But it is telling guys, it is not adding any form, just it is asking something. Okay, let's make sure your form is connected to the right table to submit data. It is asking choose an existing table or create a new form with a new table. Do you have any table that is already available in your Dataverse? If yes, then choose your table. Otherwise, click on create a new table. Let's say I want to create a new table. So what it will do, it will create a new table for me with respective columns and display this form to me for my review. And this is the screen that is having the form details. You see, let me keep the form. And this is the form how it looks like. You see, Let me just collapse this so that you can see this. Now it created a multi-step form with incident details, okay, and witness information and additional information. Right? You can move this to review incident details. The incident details, it added date, time, right? Description. So to create a multi-step form, how many steps you follow manually using Power Pages Management model-driven app? Many steps, right? But within some couple of seconds, Copilot helped me to design this type of form. And you can take help of this inline settings to make mandatory to show some descriptions. These are inline features available for your form fields, right? You can also ask to change anything in your form, any content change, any form field change, any theme change, right? If you want to create a new section, you can add also, right? So creating tables, creating forms, adding pages, changing content on the screen is now easy. You do not need to do it manually, right? In the data form section, you can add, this is also in preview. It's not available globally, but it will be available shortly. Okay. So try Copilot in this Power Pages. There are many possibilities are there, but I cannot cover in the 1 hour. So I'm just giving you an glimpse or an idea that where you can take the feature of Copilot for your productivity. Don't do many things manually. Okay, manual things are gone. We are in the age of AI and generative AI. So you take help of Copilot and review the change and accept it. So this is all about Power Pages integration of Copilot. Let me go to the Power Automate and see if I can leverage Power Automate to do the same thing, writing expressions automatically, writing dynamic content automatically or not. I'll go to make.powerautomate.com. Working with Power Automate is interesting, isn't it? Because it also provides less code, no code way. But that less code can be leveraged or can be ignored by Copilot by asking questions. Here also you see it is asking on the home page. You can also ask your natural query language to create a new Power Automate for you. Let's say I want to ask create an on-demand flow to send email. Just simple. Create an on-demand flow to send email. Click on generate and see how Copilot is helping me to identify respective actions and triggers. You see, guys, it automatically identified the button trigger, which is manually pressed button, and the action send email, right? Because you told you want to send an email, so action should be send email and trigger should be manual button click. You can ask any complex things also. Now let's say click next. I want to proceed with this button, with this flow. You have to provide your connection here and click on create the flow. When you create the flow, it will open the flow designer. Here also the Copilot is there. Copilot is always there for you in your development journey. You can change anything. Let's say I don't want to send an email directly. I want to send an email to my manager, right? Now let me ask a question. So you have to first fix the errors, right? Click this step and see these are the errors. That means you have to provide the value for to subject and body. Now in the to address, I don't want to specify a manual email or a specific email. Rather, I want to tell the Copilot to identify my current manager and keep the address here. So how to get the current login user manager and put it the address here? This is a tough job. So let me ask the Copilot, please update to address as current login user manager email. Now hit enter. What I asked to the Copilot to get my manager and associate the two address as my manager email. Now it is connecting. You see guys, automatically two actions interpreted. Get my profile using Office 365 users connector. Get my profile will get my current profile, user profile. Get manager action will get the current user's manager information, and that manager information is associated here. So that you do not need to worry about which actions will be used to get your manager information. Understood? Now, this is the way that you can prompt to the user, prompt to the Copilot. Now, in the send email, I have some other information also. Subject. In the subject, I want to make some dynamic things. Let's say it will display important notification as a string plus concatenate with current date time with this formula. Let's say I want to design like this. Important notification, and it will append current date. Now this is the format I want dynamically to be placed in this subject. What you need to do this? You have to do some expression, right? Format date time expression. But you can take help of ChatGPT here. Don't always write everything. Also, you know it. Okay, you can use functions here. You can use dynamic content here, right? But I want to ask this question to the prompt to the ChatGPT to help me. In the subject field, please assign the string important notification and append with current date and current date with DDMMYY format. Now this prompt will help Copilot to understand what I'm expecting, and it will create respective actions for me and put it here, dynamic content. Now let us hit enter and see the magic of Copilot. Instead of writing manual expressions, it will do it for me. You see guys, it added a compose step. In the compose step, it automatically identified what formula required. So in the compose step, it taken format datetime function, taken a parameter UTC now, and define the format so that this action will identify my dynamic content. Then in the send email, it will append, so I can add hyphen and append the dynamic content from the compose, right? So if something is not done, ignored, you can do it. But most of the times it has been done by Copilot. The complex thing is done. Writing this expression, identifying the correct expression and using parameters done by Copilot. Now adding this as a append things, I can do that, right? Okay. Like that, in the body, you can mention something. You can ask in the body, please mention about me. So about me is a dynamic content available in the current profile, user profile. So I can ask in the email body, please assign current user about me information. Hit enter. Now it will automatically bind the dynamic content from the get current profile to this send email. You see, about me is a dynamic content from get my profile, and it is added. So if I'll do it all things manually, it takes time, but Copilot helped me a lot to design my flow with less error, right? Next, the last thing we will do, how you can leverage this Copilot Now, this is just a simple use case I told you. You can ask Copilot for complex things also. You might have done some complex Copilot, complex Power Automate flow, loops, right? Parallel branches, so many things are there. So you can also ask Copilot to explain about an action. Let's say I want to ask what this action is doing, then it will also explain for you, right? So let me go to the another component of Power Platform and see how Copilot helps us, called as Power Virtual Agent, the Copilot Studio. The new name of Power Virtual Agent is Copilot Studio. So I can click this Power Platform, or I can directly write down here, Power Virtual Agent. Otherwise, you can navigate from make.powerapps.com. On the left side, it will give you the option. If you scroll down, you will find Power Platform and click this Copilot Studio. The new name of Power Virtual Agent is Copilot Studio. This Copilot Studio also, you can ask Chat Copilot to help you to design some actions. Okay, let us see how you can speed up your work using Copilot. Okay. Now let's say this is my Copilot, right? Now here you can use add an action. You can open a topic, for instance, and the Copilot is here, right? You can ask the Copilot to do anything. Let's say I want to ask here that here I can ask, please add an action to ask a question about user email, right? If it is not generating, that means you are not correctly prompting. Okay, you can help here. If you click on this Copilot, it will also give you some more information how you can add prompt. Add a question to ask the user for their name. You can click this and update. Once you click on update, it will add another action here. If you scroll down, you will find this one. This question is added, right? So it will add at the end of the node. So this is the Copilot in context with your topic. You can ask questions. You can ask to add conditions, right? So try it. You can also change any data type. If you are using any variable in your Power Virtual Agent or Copilot Studio, you can also ask. So try it. It is already late. We are winding up today. So let me check if we have any questions here, because I didn't checked out the questions. So I have got so many questions. Let me go through one by one so that I can answer it. So the first question is Copilot mature or stable enough to add Copilot features in the production environment apps? Remember, the answer is like Copilot is not changing anything in your application. It is just giving the suggestions and it's just giving the recommended actions to do. It is up to you that whether you want to allow it or not. So in my point of view, Copilot is mature enough and so many AI features are getting integrated, and in future we are expecting so many advanced version of that Copilot. So it is, in my point of view, it is mature. You can use it in your production environment, but again, you have to review it before accept it, right? Otherwise, Copilot is not changing anything in background. Rather, it is giving a focus that giving a recommendation that you can accept it or not. Otherwise, it is fair enough to use it. I think it depends upon the complexity of the project. Yeah, depends because Copilot is actually used when there is a complex project. If simple project, no need of Copilot. Copilot helps with PowerFS formula. Of course, yes. As I told you, you can ask Copilot to design your PowerFX. But remember, you have to prompt it correctly. Otherwise, it will not generate correct formula. Okay. In future also, Copilot is generating your formula from your natural query language. It is upcoming. It is in a preview, so it will also come for us. So moving transition from less code to no code, that is what we are expecting. And the recording will be available. I will share this recording after this session. Okay. Also, I will upload in the YouTube, but you can also download from this chat. You will get an email after this webinar. You can download it. Okay. The link will be sent to everyone through a automated email. What if the user having access to see only 50 contacts? Will it still show 97 contacts? No, it will display the total contacts that are available in database. Okay, it's not having access. So it's not having access to the, it's not related to 50 contacts that is having access. It will display the total contacts that is available in the database. Can I get to know the salary of CEO and CFO by asking Copilot? Copilot is very smart, guys. Remember, Copilot will just stay away answering the diplomat questions. Okay, so it will not expose any information that is financially bound. So depending on your configuration only, Copilot will respond. Okay, there are so many other questions are there. So I do not have time to go through, but I will answer this question in a blog or in this when I will upload this video in YouTube. I will also add all these question answers in there so that you can get to know the answers. Okay. Thanks everyone. I'm so happy that you guys joined, and this session was just designed just to give you an idea that how you can leverage, because in our day-to-day life, it is very difficult to get time out to analyze what new features are introduced, and that's why this was session. This was the session. But although I have not covered the in-depth things, but this is just a kickstart so that you can use it in your production apps also. If it is not preview, some features are not preview. In preview means do not use in a production app. If it is globally available, use it. So thanks everyone. I will share these recordings to everyone so that you can watch later on. Bye everyone.